Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning and welcome. It's Nurse Richard the Wax Wizard. Thank you for joining me. A really interesting case this.
It's a juicy one.
And it will remain a bit of a mystery as well as to what's going on. And I will tell you why. It was a lovely lady who came to see me, quite an elderly lady, and she had quite a few health conditions which may be a key as to what's actually going on here. Now, she was very shaky and jiggly. She did keep coughing as well, unfortunately. We'll get on to why that was. And so as you can see, pull this out there and there's a giant plug of skin. Now, underneath it, you can see there's some of this mushy white stuff, which is freshly shed skin, which is mushy, so there's an indication that there's been a bit of discharge, and you can see why that was here, because you've got this little area here which is slightly concerning. You're wondering where those hairs are coming from. They actually are from her head. And sometimes this is unavoidable. It does happen where you introduce the suction tube into someone's ear, and the hairs around the ear that are hanging over the ear kind of follow it in. So it's kind of unavoidable sometimes that this happens. As much as you want to get them out of the way, you just put the tube in and they just follow you in there. So I've managed to get rid of those. Now, what's the cause of this here? So yes, it is mushy. There may well be some exposed bone. It's really difficult to make out though, because that yellowish area there, I'm not entirely convinced that that is exposed bone itself. I think it's more likely to be a softened plug of dead skin, keratin. I wasn't fully able to remove that because she did find it quite uncomfortable, unfortunately. So there does come a point where you have to stop and say, okay, enough is enough. We've kind of found a problem here and now let's refer it onwards. So I'm just trying to touch up against that to see if any of it comes away, to reveal exactly what's going on behind there. And yeah, a little bit of it does, but I do suspect there's something going on behind there that needs looking into relatively urgently. As to what the cause of it is, I don't think you can ever 100% know. Like I said, this lady had some health conditions. She had a chronic lung condition. She also had a heart condition. She didn't have diabetes. And all those things is things that can affect the blood flow and the circulation in your body. So you can either get the cause of this can be from the plug of skin itself. That's ear canal was kind of a bit bumpy, especially in the other one as well. It's a bit more noticeable. So has that plug of dead skin started burying downwards into the ear canal, causing a little ulceration and maybe possibly exposing some bone? That's possible. Strictly speaking, that would be a canal cholesteatoma. It's quite rare, but it does happen. Look at this lovely little peel here. And the other cause could have been from some circulation issues. And because we know she has all these other health conditions that can affect the circulation. So any skin, any living tissue, anywhere in the body, it needs oxygen to survive. And oxygen is carried around your body in your blood. And if there's not as much oxygen in the blood being traveling around your body, then some tissues will be starved of that oxygen.
You okay?
And then therefore they can basically die if they don't get enough oxygen. And that could have happened there too. So I don't think we'll ever 100% know what the actual cause of that, whether it's caused from the problem with the blood supply to the base of the ear canal, or whether it's caused by the plug burying down into it, so from the top or the bottom. It's very hard to know. Anyway, this was her other ear, and you see what I mean when I say it was a bit bumpy as well. So it could have been just that the plug was sitting in one of these little crevices and it's just had a bit of a nibble away down at it. That's possible too. Like I said before, she was coughing, moving, shaking, all things that make it particularly difficult with ones like this, but you have to work with what you've got, as long as you have a steady brace position. By brace position, I mean when you're holding the endoscope, which is probably about it would be like that. I would hold it like that, and I would brace my fingers to the side, just underneath. Depends whereabouts you are. So if the person does move towards you, you know the whole thing comes with you. And same thing when you've got the suction tool in. You would hold it like this, and you would usually brace a couple of your last fingers or your little finger there as well. So if that person moves, they would move with you. But if that person is very jiggly, things are going to start moving around a bit. It's kind of inevitable, really. She did notice a big difference, obviously. And obviously I do have to refer her onwards to the local ear, nose and throat department just to get that little that area looked into. And can you see what I mean here when I say the ear canal's a bit bumpy? Just trying to get that in focus there. Empty now, that's the main thing, and she could hear better. And hopefully there's nothing too major going on behind that. I don't suspect it's a huge problem because it was a really small area. You've got to bear in mind how magnified these things are. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, found it interesting. But for now, take care of yourself, and I'll see you later. Ta-da.